Oh, honey, Meghan Markle just got roasted, and not in a sweet, playful way. We're talking full-blown, no-holds-barred, dragged in front of millions style. And the man behind the verbal beatdown, none other than Colin Jost, the smooth-faced, sarcastic assassin from Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update. It all went down live. Yup, live. No takebacks, no edits. Just Colin standing center stage like a lion with a mic, and Meghan's carefully curated image about to be torn limb by limb. He didn't just poke fun at her, he ripped through the narrative she spent years building like a chainsaw through tissue paper. And get this, he did it all in less than 10 minutes. Now look, Colin Jost isn't exactly known for playing nice, but even so, no one expected him to come for Meghan this hard, especially on a subject as loaded as the whole royal drama. What started as some cheeky jokes about her media ventures quickly snowballed into one of the most savage takedowns seen in years. It was pure fire. The audience? Oh, they weren't just laughing. They were howling, clapping, gasping. And on the internet, phew, it was like someone dropped a match into a warehouse of fireworks. And the timing couldn't have been worse for Meghan. She's knee-deep in yet another rebrand, new shows, a fresh image, and of course, the classic Markle balancing act of privacy versus publicity. But Colin wasn't buying any of it. That little knowing smirk on his face, everyone knew he was about to drop a bomb. Then boom, he opened with Meghan Markle wants privacy, right after signing another Netflix deal and launching a jam brand. The room lost it. It wasn't just a joke, it was a reality check served ice cold. And just when you thought he might ease up, he dropped the line. She's not the people's princess, she's the PR princess, a wannabe Diana with Wi-Fi. Gasp, jaw drop. That one line broke the internet. People couldn't stop repeating it. It was brutal, it was viral, and it was devastating. Because deep down, everyone had been thinking it. Colin just said what the world had been whispering behind closed doors. Meghan aligning herself with Princess Diana, trying to recreate Diana's legacy but with brand deals and filtered content. Without the pain, the depth, the truth Diana carried, people had enough. And Colin just lit the match. Social media exploded. Twitter turned into a battlefield. Hashtags like fake Diana and PR princess trended within minutes. Memes popped up faster than anyone could keep track. Some hilarious, some downright cruel. Meghan's face slapped onto mock reality show posters, fake perfume ads, even photoshopped onto the crown. And this wasn't just to get laughs. This was message sending, loud and clear. People were done pretending. And Hollywood, ooh, they weren't chuckling quite as loud. Executives at Netflix, Spotify, and wherever Meghan had dipped her toes creatively, yeah, they were watching nervously. Whispers started flying around boardrooms. Some were panicked, some were done. One consultant summed it up perfectly, and this phrase stuck like glue. Meghan fatigue. This wasn't about whether she deserved the criticism. This was about perception. And honey, in showbiz, perception is everything. Colin didn't invent new criticism. He just put it in a prettier, punchier, viral-ready package. And the world ate it up. He put the spotlight on the messy gap between Meghan's message and her methods, between what she says and what we're actually seeing. It didn't feel like comedy. It felt like someone finally holding up a mirror. And when jokes hit this hard, they become cultural commentary. Suddenly, this wasn't just an SNL skit, it was a turning point. Let's be real, Meghan's empire isn't crashing just yet. But honey, it's wobbling. And for someone who's built an entire public persona around perfect branding, that's one scary place to be. And Colin wasn't done yet. Oh no. The punchlines kept rolling in, each sharper than the last. And what made them so deadly wasn't just the humor, it was the truth behind them. He didn't just mock Meghan's new brand ventures or her ever-growing list of healing content. He took a hammer to the shiny shell she built around herself. That glossy, filtered version of Meghan, the woman with flawless lighting, perfect podcasts, and neatly packaged trauma stories, Colin shattered it. You left the palace because it was toxic. Understandable, he said, pausing just long enough for everyone to lean in. But now you're in a Montecito mansion filming 5 angles of your healing process? That's not trauma, that's content. Boom. The crowd didn't just laugh, they screamed. Not because they were cruel, but because they were relieved. Finally, someone had said what they were all thinking. It wasn't shade, it was surgery. And guess what? Prince Harry wasn't safe either. Colin casually dropped, America's trade deal with the UK should involve sending Harry and Meg. And with a deadpan grin, he added, all Britain demands is that we keep these two. Savage. And he wasn't done dragging them through the comedic mud. The real gut punch, it came when he compared Meghan to Kate Middleton. And oof, it stung. Kate smiles, waves, raises 3 kids. He said, Meghan gives a TED Talk every time she toasts bread. The audience lost it. Again. It wasn't just funny. It hit a nerve. People were starting to feel like every single moment in Meghan's life had to be explained, branded, or marketed. Every tear came with a trademark. Every joy had a press release. And let's be honest, that gets exhausting. For fans, for critics, even for those on the fence. And the fallout? Oh baby, it was nuclear. Influencers who once fawned over Meghan's posts, suddenly quiet. Feminist columnists who defended her for years, one tweeted just 3 words after the sketch aired, he wasn't wrong. No op-eds, no outrage. Just silence. And that silence, it screamed louder than 1,000 think pieces. Because here's the truth in showbiz, when people stop defending you, it doesn't always mean they turned on you. Sometimes. They just don't care anymore. And that's the death knell. Meghan, once protected by glowing media praise and her progressive fairy tale armor, suddenly stood alone. Not hated, not booed, just exposed. No trending hashtags defending her, no viral Instagram stories of support. Just stillness. And stillness? That's something PR cannot fix. That's the terrifying power of comedy when it's done right. It doesn't need facts, press releases, or rebuttals. It hits you in the gut and leaves you there. One insider from a major network didn't hold back. They called it brand slippage. That moment when people don't cancel you, they just stop believing in you. And honey, that's scarier than any scandal. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Meghan wasn't laughing. Sources close to her inner circle spilled the tea. She felt blindsided, humiliated, and personally attacked by the SNL bit. She didn't think it was just tasteless. She believed it crossed the line into misogyny. But here's the kicker. The more her camp pushed back, the more disconnected she appeared. Because those punchlines didn't just sting. They cut straight into something deeper. Something she's been trying to cover up for years. Remember, Meghan built her brand on vulnerability, on truth-telling, on empowerment. She gave tearful interviews. She bared her struggles. She became a symbol of modern rebellion. But somewhere along the line, those raw moments, they started to feel packaged. Like they'd been polished for press tours and wrapped in designer brand. Every quote, every anecdote, every sob, it all started to sound a little too scripted. And when your vulnerability becomes your product, people stop relating and start questioning. That's what made Colin's roast so deadly. He didn't attack Meghan's character. He attacked the illusion, the one she worked so hard to craft. He held up the mirror, and behind the glam lighting and self-help sound bites, people didn't see a victim. They saw a marketer, a very good one, with a royal last name and a spreadsheet full of brand deals. And the irony of it all? Meghan might have been better off staying silent, but nope, her response was everything the public expected. Reports say she was frustrated, angry, and felt it was unfair. And that reaction, it only proved Colin's point. Because in Meghan's world, every joke is an attack. Every moment must be controlled. Every laugh must be explained away. And that instinct to defend has quietly become her biggest enemy. Now flip the lens to Buckingham Palace. Guess what they said? Nothing, not one peep. No formal statement. No side-eye press leak. Not even a royal smirk caught by a tabloid. But insiders, oh, they were talking. One palace source told a British tabloid that the sketch was met with quiet satisfaction. Another was more brutal. The joke wrote itself. She's been playing Diana for years. Whew. Cold-blooded. But not wrong. Let's be real. Meghan and Harry dragged the royal family for years. Interviews, documentaries, best-selling books, all while cashing in on their royal link. And the institution, it stayed silent. It let them run the show. But this moment, this was different. It wasn't some tabloid hit piece or shady British press op-ed. This was SNL, a mainstream American comedy institution, the type of place where public opinion doesn't just live, it thrives. And here's the damning part. The crowd didn't groan, they didn't protest. They cheered, they laughed, they agreed. That sound echoed beyond the studio, right into boardrooms in Hollywood. Variety insiders spilled that media execs were spooked, not because the jokes were mean, but because they landed hard. In this polarized, hypersensitive era, it's rare to get unanimous laughs. But Meghan, oh, she made it easy. And that's not just a red flag, honey. That's a siren blaring from Beverly Hills to Buckingham. Some folks are still trying to spin it. This isn't the end of Meghan, they say. It's just a new phase. Yeah? A new phase called irrelevance. Because the harsh truth is, when the public stops arguing about you and starts joking about you, the game changes. You're no longer the center of a movement. You're a meme, a punchline, a viral moment that gets 10 seconds of attention before the world scrolls on. And Colin Jost, with nothing but a grin, a suit, and a couple of note cards, handed America the new script, the final word. Meghan once dreamed of crafting a legacy built on courage, on voice, on transformation. She imagined powerful speeches, bold activism, walls broken down with words. But this legacy might not come from a royal biopic or a carefully curated docuseries. It might just come from a joke, a single vicious, unforgettable joke. And darling, it landed.